You have people saying that Michael Jackson was murdered. There are people saying he was corporately murdered. It's a big thing about corporate. There was people after his catalogue. I mean, I wouldn't go into details of who I thought it was, but I remember speaking to his mum, and it was on the line that, you know, if you get rid of him, you can benefit from the branding, the estate, the publishing, the product.
Money is going to be coming in, and I think there are going to be demands on that money. But I think ultimately, you will find Michael Jackson is going to be worth more in death than he is in life.
So you got this company called AEG, which couldn't give a fuck whether or not he lives or dies. And if I was going to investigate something, I would investigate that.
And they asked me if I would do this again, given everything that has happened. And the answer is hell yes.
They murdered my brother, and they know who they are. It's not just Dr. Murray, I promise you that. It's more people involved, and they know exactly who they are, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly what's happening and what's going on.
Now, you write that Jackson may have wanted out of this tour, but this was his big comeback tour. Why would he want to back out of it?
He didn't want to actually back out of it. What he wanted to do, Allison, was get back to what he thought the agreement was. Michael had negotiated this personally back in November in Las Vegas, across the table from Phillips, who was running AEG, the big concert promoter. And what Michael thought they agreed to was 10. That's what he wanted to do. What AEG wanted was 50. And he was convinced that it was 10, so much so that in March, when he made the announcement, as you know, in London for this concert tour, he said, this is it. That was the name of the tour. I'm doing 10 performances in London, and they will be my last performances ever in London. He was then told after that conference that you have to do more, Michael. He refused to go to take the stand. He wouldn't take another press conference. So Michael wanted to do one concert with 5-day breaks between each one. They wanted to do 50 with 1-day breaks between each one going into the spring of 2010. He was completely stressed out by that and didn't think he was capable physically of doing it.
Why wouldn't this is a man who could afford the best lawyers ever to break any kind of contract?
Because his advisors and lawyers wouldn't break it. They were the ones telling him, Allison, you've got to do all 50, because if you don't, you're going to lose the one thing that's prized, and that's your catalog. Half of your catalog with your Beatles songs is already owned by Sony. The other half, you have loans against them and you have liens against it. If you don't do all 50, and you then go to Vegas in the spring of 2010 and do a 6-month show like a Cirque du Soleil, but it will be you for $100 million, you risk losing your major asset.
Dr. Tomei told us flat out that he didn't feel Michael would make one date in London. I overheard Michael Jackson telling Leonard Rowe that he only committed to 10 shows in London.
Alanko feels Michael was pushed into the London concert series by businessmen trying to exploit Jackson's well-publicized money troubles.
Dr. Tomei was charged with one thing, and that's to bring money into Colony Capital, to recover that debt that they had on Neverland. And Dr. Tomei used AEG as one of the tools to do that. And that was, they had at one point told me it was a $500 million 3-year project. That's a tremendous amount of money at stake, and I think money corrupts, and I think you see the end result of greed.
And they asked me if I would do this again, given everything that has happened. And the answer is hell yes.